people of the internet? My name is Sisley and welcome back to my channel. So, it is the end of the year. I have published 3 year-end chart videos so far, highlighting my favorite music videos, songs, and albums of the year, specifically the ones that came out this year, of course. But I would be lying if I said that's the only stuff that I listen to, because I listen to a lot of music, and the majority of the stuff that I listened to and obsessed over this year was not released this year at all. Some of it is very old, some of it is not terribly old, but especially since I don't do monthly music favorites anymore, I thought it's extremely worthy to mention and highlight some of the other songs that I've been loving throughout this year. And so of course, since Spotify is my preferred streaming method, and it makes you a handy little playlist of the top 100 songs that you play the most throughout the year, it is time to expose my Spotify most played 100 songs playlist! I know that for some people it's like, oh, embarrassing, but like, I mean, I have no shame in the music that I listen to, whatever it might be. So for me, this is gonna be fun and exciting to share this with you and to show you what my music taste was actually like throughout 2018. But before we start, of course, I would like to invite you to check out my Patreon page. If you enjoy my videos and feel like supporting me beyond watching them, please consider supporting me through there. I will have a link in the description as well as in the pinned comment below the video. And of course, I would like to thank the people that already are supporting me through Patreon. Your support means the world to me. I'm really grateful. And yeah, we have 100 songs to go through. I might not be able to talk about them all, but there are lots that I definitely want to talk about. So without further ado, let's go and let's get started! So starting from the very bottom, from the 91st to 100th, here's the bottom 10 songs. The last song on it is actually the only Lithuanian song that I've actually obsessively listened to this year. It is called Kumas ir Kuma, and is by a band called Liūdni Slibinai, which translates to Sad Dragons. They're kind of like a comedy folk band. They do a lot of folky stuff, but their songs are usually very satiric and funny and stuff like that. I really enjoy them. They're one of the few Lithuanian artists that I genuinely admire and I think are very cool and are doing something unique. Then immediately above that is Cocaine Carolina by Ellie King, who was also the artist behind X's and O's. I spontaneously listened to her album at one point this year, and this song stood out to me mostly because of the lyrics. They're just incredibly sad and heartbreaking, but they're so beautiful. The vibe of the song is incredible. Then of course we have some Star Wars, specifically Yoda by Weird Al and Ray's Theme by John Williams. Now, as some of you may know, I got obsessed with Star Wars this year, and I have been living for Star Wars this entire year, just like all throughout the year. Like, that's the 2 things that I'm obsessed with, music and Star Wars. And Weird Al's Star Wars inspired covers of famous songs are some of my favorite things that I've discovered this year. They just produce so well, like beyond the Star Wars aspect, they're just produced wonderfully. I listened to the original called Lola, and it's cool, but it's nowhere near as good sounding as Yoda. And when it comes to Ray's Theme, of course John Williams is a legend, but specifically Ray's Theme I think is my favorite character theme from a movie soundtrack that I've ever heard. Like, it's just so pretty, makes you wanna conquer the world. It's incredibly cool. Then we have the Beatles, I Want to Hold Your Hand. I never really got into the Beatles before now. I always enjoyed some of their songs, like Let It Be was a longtime favorite of mine, but I never fully got into listening to more stuff from their discography, and this year was definitely a year of discoveries. I discovered some really cool gems from their discography. Moving on to the next top 10, the songs from number 81 to 90. There's a lot of Eurovision stuff in this chart actually, even if I listened to it only for like a couple of days. Fire Meets Gasoline by Sia is a longtime favorite of mine. I keep coming back to it because it's just so intense and passionate, and I love the energy that song has. And We Dance by the Hooters was also an older favorite that I revisited this year. It's just so pretty. That song is so beautiful. I love the chorus. I love how catchy it is. Then we have Lucid Dream by Owl City. Like, I listen to that song like nobody's business. I listen to it a lot. And then we have Move On by ABBA. That song is perfect. It's one of the best ABBA songs. It has perfect lyrics, freaking existential, all over the place, but it's beautiful. It's about appreciating life, being in the moment, and just about the natural flow of nature and life, and that song is definitely one of my favorite ABBA songs. In general, if you couldn't tell already from my channel, from me binge reacting to ABBA music videos, I got super into ABBA this year. Like, those are the 2 things that I discovered this year, Star Wars and ABBA. Those are my 2 loves this year, and it's been a great year. Cake to Bake is another Eurovision song, but it's actually an older Eurovision song. It was Latvia's entry country quite a few years ago, but it's so fun, it's so adorable. It's one of those songs that, you know, it's a happy song, and I love happy songs. That's what it is. Then we have Here Comes the Change by Kesha, which is another important highlight because while it was from this year, I didn't really put into any of my favorites list, but I still really loved it. Moving on, this is from 71 to 80, and songs like Bibia Beyeye and Faster, like if you know me, you can tell why they're here. They're happy songs, and I love listening to happy songs. Mbop as well was a discovery from this year. I've heard that song before, definitely. It was like a 90s hit, but I recently rediscovered it, and it's just so fun. It's so good. I remember playing it on repeat one night for hours. Lay All Your Love on Me is another super incredible ABBA song. My favorite thing about that song is the chord progression in the chorus and how satisfying it resolves. It's so satisfying. I have never heard a more satisfying resolution in a chord progression. I think that's truly what made me love that song so much. Then we have I Don't Give a Fuck by Dua Lipa, which I also didn't mention, but I got obsessed with it after watching the music video. I think that's such a good song. It's definitely my favorite from Dua Lipa that I've heard. Okay, moving on, we have a song called There Is Nowhere We Won't Go by Jeremy Messersmith, and his entire album of just solo ukulele songs was probably one of my biggest inspirations for getting an ukulele. Like, I think I started listening to it right as I realized that I want to learn to play that instrument, and I love playing that song on an ukulele. It's probably the most fun song to play because it's just so upbeat. It's short and sweet and cheesy, but that's why it's fun. Okay, then we have Sting. I Hung My Head by Sting is one of those songs that I've been hearing throughout my childhood but never truly appreciated. It has a really odd time signature. At first it's really unsettling because we're so used to 4x4, but then when you get used to it, you know, you kind of can bop along to it as well, and it's such a cool song. It's so dramatic and so sad. It explores a really interesting story, and it really makes me think deeply every time that I listen to it, and I love it for that. Okay, we have Celluloid Heroes, which is an interesting song that I never thought that I would listen to, but Mark Hamill on Twitter, right before getting his Hollywood Walk Star of Fame star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Sorry, that's how you say it. Right before that, he, I think, tweeted that it was his favorite song at the moment, and it has such cool lyrics. They're really sad, but they're really clever, and it's a really interesting song. Hello Goodbye by the Beatles was also another cool discovery for me. I really love the ending of that song. Like, the entire song is really cool, but I like that hey ha, hey hello ha, like that part has something really special. I fell in love with that. Of course, we have some more ABBA. Take a Chance on Me is definitely undoubtedly one of their best songs. The a cappella at the start. I think when I first listened to it through headphones, I was immediately sold. I was so in love. That's one of the things that made me truly fall in love with ABBA. Alright, we're almost halfway through. You Are the Reason by Colin Scott. It's one of those cliche songs that you sometimes hear on the radio. It's pretty, but I think I truly listen to it because my dad loves playing it on the piano, and I love learning to sing things that he likes to play on the piano so I can sing along. So that's what I was listening to. But I really love the line, if I could turn back the clock, I'd make sure the light defeated the dark, and I'd spend every hour of every day to keep you safe, or something like that. Like, that's my favorite line. It struck me so hard, and I love it. Of course, we have the classic Africa by Toto. You can't not love that song. It's just so good. The main title in this list, if you can't tell, is from the Star Wars soundtrack. It's just so good. There's nothing else to say about the main theme of Star Wars. It's classic, it's fantastic, it brings me immense joy. That's all there is to it. Okay, then we have Fuego by Eleni Foureira, and that is from Eurovision as well. It's definitely one of the best Eurovision songs this year. I think it definitely deserved to win. But then can we talk about Son of Man and the Tarzan soundtrack in general? Like, my dad listened to that soundtrack, you know, when I was little. I haven't even seen Tarzan then, but he really liked Phil Collins, and he listened to that soundtrack a lot, and, you know, we love us a woke dad. Because this year I just listened to the soundtrack a lot. I haven't seen the movie in a while, but the soundtrack, man, those songs, the arrangements, the feel, oh god, so good. Everybody Gets a Kitten is another adorable song by Jeremy Messersmith. I think that's the first song. No, actually, the first song that I've heard from Jeremy Messersmith was Tatooine, which is also a song about Star Wars. What do you know? But this was the second song, and I fell in love with it. It's just so cute. cute. I love it. Okay, then we have The Way All Friends Do by ABBA. Like, come on, that song is so underrated. It's so perfect. It's magical. It's grand. And it's like a really simple song. It's short, but it makes me feel all the things. All the things, God. Then we have Eternal Flame by the Bangles. I loved quite a few songs by the Bangles this year. They just have really cool vocals and really cool production. Alright, rolling over to the next top 50. Of course, Cinematic, as you can tell, is my favorite song from the Owl City new album Cinematic. Not only because of the Star Wars references, but because it's a genuinely good song. I listen to it a ton. More importantly, Always Gold by Radical Face. I think I first heard that song in a Star Wars video edit, and it's just so sad, but so pretty. There's just something really special about the melodies and the vibe it creates, and it makes me sad, but also happy, and I love that song. I listen to it so much. Already Gone and Welcome Home are other two songs that I just love to listen when I need that sad emo feeling, you know, or when I'm writing something that's really angsty. Like, those songs are perfect for that, and they're so beautiful. The melodies are incredible. The emotion that they create is incredible. Dream of Mickey Mantle by Bleachers is one of the best Bleachers songs, and I know that their album came out last year, but this year I had a whole couple days where I just played it. I revisited and played it, and this song specifically just has such an interesting energy. It's not happy, but it's not overly sad either. Like, it's sad, but it's not too sad. It makes you feel a certain way. I love that. Top of the World by Carpenters. That song is a childhood favorite. It makes me feel all sorts of warm feelings inside. I love it. No matter the time of year, no matter the year, I still keep coming back to it. Seagulls, Stop It Now by Bad Lip Reading. We're getting into the spicy stuff. Many people would say, like, oh, it's such a guilty pleasure, it's so embarrassing. The songs that they make are actually good. They're undeniably musically good, and I love Seagulls for how catchy it is, and like the beats alone is super catchy, and of course the lyrics are hilarious because it's Bad Lip Reading and it's about Star Wars, so it's literally the best combination on earth. Alright, next 10 songs. From 31 to 40. Number 40 song is Touch the Sky by Julie Fowlis. I think that's how you pronounce it. It's from the Brave soundtrack. It's another song that I keep coming back to. I think it just might be my favorite Disney song of all time. I don't think I've ever listened to any other Disney soundtrack song more and just kept coming back to it year after year. It's just my type of song. It's happy, it's victorious, it makes you want to touch the sky. Alright, next one is really important as well. Marauders Arrive by John Powell is from the Solo: A Star Wars Story soundtrack. Now let me tell you about Enfys Nest and how amazing her character theme is. Enfys Nest is a new character in the Star Wars galaxy, and I fell in love with her so much, and her theme, just God, even if you don't like Star Wars, listen to it. Listen to Marauders Arrive. That's such a cool soundtrack piece. I listen to it on repeat so much. Of course, I have to have 500 Miles in that playlist because there's not a single year that I don't spend at least one evening listening to that song on repeat. Now let's talk about another soundtrack favorite, Accidentally in Love from Shrek 2 soundtrack, I think. That song is so fun, so cheesy, so happy. It has the greatest melody, it has beautiful guitars. It's, once again, it's my type of song. I listen to it obsessively, listen to it so much. Of course, another classic that I keep revisiting is Don't Stop Me Now by Queen. When I start listening to that song, I won't stop listening to it for hours. It's too good. It's so catchy. And I didn't just listen to it after I saw Bohemian Rhapsody. That song has been a favorite for quite a few years now. Okay, let's talk about Total Eclipse of the Heart as well, because I truly discovered this song this year. And it's so dramatic. It's so fucking dramatic. I love it. I love how needy and dramatic it is. And I need you now tonight. Yes, I fucking do. God damn it. I love it listening to it on repeat for hours, especially at night. Okay, this is like the top 30. This is like, we're getting close to the best of the best. Andante Andante by ABBA is definitely another favorite, as you can tell from it being in number 30 out of 100 most played songs. I played it on repeat so much. I love the chorus. I love the backing vocals in the chorus. Just the mood and the unique sound that ABBA created with the way they layered their vocals is outstanding. The chorus of that song is really something special. The Boy in the Bubble, aside from You Can Call Me Al, is my favorite song from Paul Simon's Graceland album, and I just love revisiting it. It has amazing lyrics. Kind of reminds me of Star Wars because of the lyrics, even though it has nothing to do with that franchise, I think. I can't be sure, I never looked it up. Red and Solo is here literally only because of Han Solo. Somebody edited that song on one of the first Solo trailers that came out and it fits so perfectly, and I was like that is a very Han Solo song. I think they even did a Han Solo version for Just Dance. Yeah, some dancing game, I think. But yeah, I love how catchy that song is. I never really enjoyed it as much when it first came out, but now, you know, you associate something with your favorite character, you start loving it. All This Time by Sting is one of the best Sting songs. That guitar, oh my god, like that song is once again, like Sting has very existential lyrics, you know, that song is talking about priests and God and whatnot, like, and all sorts of existential shit, but it's a good song musically, and like, while I personally don't relate to the lyrics, I love the vibe that it gives. It's so pretty. My boyfriend's back and you're gonna be in trouble. Like, that song is so cute and catchy. I kept seeing it in edits, like various movie and show funny edits that people post on YouTube. It's like a meme song at this point, but it's so catchy and so fun. I'll Set You Free is the best The Bangles song. Single-handedly the best. I listened to it for days on repeat. I couldn't let it go. It's so good. It's so dramatic. It's so powerful. Mother Nature's Son, originally in the Rocky Mountain High album by John Denver, which was presumably a collaboration with John Lennon and Paul McCartney, is one of the best 70s folk songs that I've ever heard. I think it was released in the 70s. I don't remember when that album was released, but that song is genuinely one of the prettiest folk songs that I've ever heard. I keep coming back to it. The chorus is so cute. Like, it's simple, it's adorable, it's cute. And of course we have Love Makes the World Go Round by Madonna. I listened to that song so much. Like, that was the first Madonna song, aside from, you know, some other ones that I loved before that, the first Madonna song that I got obsessed with while doing this reaction marathon that I have been doing this year. Alright, we're almost at the end. Top 20. At number 20 we have another Weird Al song about Star Wars called The Saga Begins, and it is his Star Wars inspired rendition of American Pie. Is it called American Pie or Miss American Pie? I don't remember, but the lyrics are just so fun, and the story behind that song is so fun. It literally recites the entire plot of the Phantom Menace, and it's so accurate, and the music video is so adorable. Like, god, I fell in love with it from the first sight and played it for so long. Like, ridiculously long. When All Is Said and Done is one of the first ABBA songs that I fell in love with and played on repeat. It's once again very dramatic. I love dramatic songs. And it's sad. It's so sad because a lot of ABBA songs are about breakups and difficult relationships. And especially about, you know, not just like young love or whatever being hard, but like about older people who have been together for a while. You know, things are not working out, but you still want to make the relationship work. And it's so painfully good. All these songs are so good, but When All Is Said and Done struck a chord with me the most. Late in the Evening is one of the best Paul Simon songs. Like, from that entire album, that's the only song that I truly loved, but I love it so much. When I listen to it, I can't stop listening to it. It's catchy, it's good, it has amazing arrangement. Piano Man by Billy Joel is a song that I've only discovered this year. I know that it's probably a really popular song. I actually discovered it because of an ukulele tutorial. I think it was in a 30-day ukulele challenge that Bernadette Teaches Music channel did in September, which I completed, and it was very helpful. But yeah, I've heard about the song from there and I fell in love with it. It's just such a me song. It has, first of all, piano, which is my favorite instrument of all time. Second of all, it's dramatic and it has interesting lyrics and it's just perfect. Stranger Like Me is the best song from the Tarzan soundtrack. I listened to it on repeat religiously for days, for literal days. I couldn't get enough of it, and I still can't get enough of it. Fields of Gold deserves a mention solely because it's one of the most beautiful songs that I've heard this year. If we're talking about songs that were not released this year, it's one of the best songs that I've listened to this year. It's perfect. It's a masterpiece. It's about longing. It's about the past and the future, and about love. And Fields of Gold is just so poetic, both musically and lyrically. Rocky Mountain High by John Denver is the first song that I genuinely fell in love with, you know, aside from listening to Country Roads every once in a while. Like, the first song that I truly fell in love with and thought like, hey, I know that this is like a country musician, but this is a really good folk song. Like, the lyrics are not the most perfect lyrics, but musically, it's so good. The entire guitar part is perfect. And finally, since we've gotten this far, let's talk about the top 10 from start to finish. Of course, we have No Tears Left to Cry, which I've already covered as my favorite new song that came out in 2018. At number 9, we have a very special song by my friend Ira Lee, which I also talked about in my favorite songs video, but I mean, it's only fair that I talk about it again. It's at number 9 in my most played songs. And I didn't just play it because I was asked to. I couldn't have like played it so many times to, you know, like this song, for the song to be this high just because somebody asked me to. I love this song so much. I love the lyrics, I love the melody, I love the chord progression. Like, one of my favorite things about the song is how it resolves from the verse to the chorus in terms of chord progression. And then the melody in the chorus and the vibe that it gives, the emotion that it gives. There are so many things to be uncovered in that song in terms of lyrics and melodies and overall vibe. It will always have a special place in my heart. Then we have Arrival by ABBA. Arrival is probably, I keep hesitating to say that, but honestly, it might just be my favorite ABBA song without it being like an actual traditional song. I listen to it so much. It literally just 3 minutes of the same melody. We just added some, you know, like instruments and vocals. It doesn't get boring. I literally listen to it for hours on end sometimes, and I don't get bored of it. It's such a magical Swedish folk-inspired masterpiece, and it's truly underrated. Like, it's a gem, a hidden gem, and if you've never heard it, or if you've just casually heard it somewhere and didn't pay much attention to it, I highly recommend you just sit down, put your headphones on, listen to it, and appreciate the magic. Then we have Manic Monday by The Bangles. I don't know why it's higher than I'll Set You Free, because I think I listen to I'll Set You Free way more, but Manic Monday is a really cool song too. I've heard it before, like on the radio or whatever, but I really got interested into listening to it, I think, after my mom played it in the car. I just really love the vocals and the harmonies and the chorus. The lyrics are really quirky and fun too. Next we have Just Like Heaven by The Cure. I think I also heard it first in a Star Wars video edit, I can't be sure, but I fell in love with it. I have played it for days on end. It has that soft 80s rock vibe. It's gentle, but it's also fun. I love the arrangement of that song. I love the melodies. The lyrics are really pretty. It makes me feel free and happy, and it's such a summery sound. I love it. Alright, the top 5, according to Spotify, most played songs of the year. At number 5, we have Born at the Right Time by Paul Simon, which is an absolute fair placement because I listened to that song so much. I discovered it because my friend, like, I've heard that song a while, but a friend reminded me about it, and it is just one of the prettiest Paul Simon songs ever. It has the perfect chorus, it has an incredible arrangement, the percussions in that song are magical. They're so good, and the guitar lick is so pretty as well. Like, everything about that song just feels sunny and warm and magical. I've Just Seen a Face by The Beatles. Once again, the designated folky song of the album, whatever album this was from. Apparently it was from the Beatles album. That song, I fell in love with it. I fell hard for it. I fell so hard. I listened to it so much. I learned to play it on the ukulele, and like, to this day, it's played so fast that I can't play it without my head getting really tired. But I love that song. I love the melody. I love everything about it. Everything is perfect about it. Alright, now at number 3 we have Shallow, which I obviously talked about at some points in these videos. I genuinely listen to it a ton. And of course, Lady Gaga is one of my favorite artists of all time. Maybe even the top artist if we're talking about artists and not bands or groups. So of course, naturally, when the song came out, I played it over and over and over again. Like, that's a given. And that song is genuinely beautiful, so of course it was meant to be there. Now at number 2 is a really interesting pick because I really don't think that I listened to that song that much. However, definitely deserves a mention. It's Proud Corazon from the Coco soundtrack. If you haven't seen the movie, that's the ending number, like the ending song before the credits, the happy ending song, and it's such a beautiful song. There are very few other movie songs that could top this. This genuinely makes me feel all of the emotions. It makes me feel happy, makes me feel sad, makes me feel hopeful. It is just truly a musical masterpiece, perfectly infused with Mexican music, and it's just, I can't even describe it. It's the perfect ending to a perfect movie. And of course now, since you can already see in this damn chart, you can see what's at number 1. It is Country Roads by John Denver. That's fucking right. I listened to that song so much that Spotify very rightfully put it at #1 in my top 100 songs playlist. Like I said, I'm not even embarrassed. That song is genuinely good. It's good. There's a reason why it was popular. It's fucking good. Like, I know that it's a meme, and the reason that I got into it was because of the meme. But that song is genuinely pretty. And like, that's the reason why I didn't really mention it when it was like lower in the chart, because there are two versions of it. There's the re-recorded version and the original version. I think I listened to the re-recorded version more. But God, did I listen to it a lot. For many hours, during many days, I listened to Country Roads, unironically, a lot. So that was my exposing my top Spotify top 100 most played songs of 2018. Well, what can I say? This was really accurate, with some exceptions, but it was mostly very accurate. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I don't know how long it's gonna end up being after editing, but if you sat through all of that, thank you so much. I really enjoyed sharing my music listening tendencies with you, and I'm really excited to see what 2019 brings us. So yeah, thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you next time. I love you guys. Bye!